So we'll take up a trot again. We'll come here. So again, medium jog. Not worried about long trotting yet. First thing my hunter horse got to be able to do. So say we are worried about the show pen. Number one thing he's got to do is when I close my feet, he comes back to me. So I'm here, trotting along, hug my feet, come back to me. All right? Come back to me. It doesn't have to be a great jog. I don't expect this horse to jog very well. He's a big horse with a big stride, but he's got to come back. All right? If my hunter horses don't have that button, we are not showing for the day. All right? So when we go to the show pen and we're ready to warm up, this is what I'm testing in my warm up. Do you come back to me when I squeeze my feet? Okay? Because if he doesn't come back to me when I squeeze my feet, maybe I can pick up my hands a little bit. Right here, he's got to come way back. If he doesn't come back, then I'm not going to push him out. Because that's not going to be a healthy trot, right? That's going to be a running away trot. So I can push him back out, use my seat, right here, push him out to a nice trot. That's a little fast, I'm going to bring him back. I'm going to reset him. I'm going to tell him, hey, hold your body up, hold your ribs up, hold your shoulders up, let's try again. Until you can figure out where am I comfortable trotting around here where I've got a good reach, good length of stride, and I'm not scrambling, okay? And that's all in your post. If you're posting along and you're doing this, right, and you're going real fast, your horse is going to get all messed up. He's not sure what to do now. So make sure that your post is controlled and contained and slow and rhythmic if you want your horse to trot around like that, all right? Because this trot right here, to me, bring it back, push back out. This trot right here is much prettier than a trot that looks like this. I don't think that this is hard to do. I don't think this horse is working hard here. I think this trot has gotten choppy. It's gotten quick. Is he a bigger strided horse here? Maybe, right? But he's a lot faster legged, which to me isn't good. So I want to make sure that my stride stays back to me. So see how I hug that feet, bring him back to me. See how I'm holding my spurs in while I'm posting. Bring him back. Let him come out, he rushed away again. He said, that was kind of fun, that was easy. Bring him back, let him back out. Bring him back. Bring him back. Just kind of hold him to that. Let him back out. That's where my showable trot would be. Okay? Now, nothing, again, should change when I go from here to a sit trot. Right? So if I'm showing my horse, going along, I want to be able to go from here to a sit trot. And just make sure nothing changes. He come back to me a little bit right there. That's okay. Versus the alternative, which is bowing his neck up and running away, right? So we test that out a lot. Can I go from posting trot to sit trot and not get my head coming up? See how I came up just a touch? Because what's coming next most of the time in a class? You're gonna let it off, all right? So make sure, especially in your seasoned show horses, that you can go from posting trot to sit trot. So posting trot to a sit trot, and not have him pick his neck up or anticipate your lope off. And that might be come in here, hold things to him, hold my spurs to him, hold my hands to him, get out, reach out and pet him. And not take up my lope. Right? So come along, hold things to him. See right here. Hold things to him out in front of me. Now pulling back. There. Good. And again, it's all about him holding his shoulders up. Right? He's got to hold himself up around here. Sit trot, doesn't pick up, doesn't rush away. I like it. Now, can I go from here, pick up, make some shape. Right? Set up for my lope off. I'm here, legs on, make some shape, keep his neck down. Right in there. Good boy. Good. Out. Not gonna look about it. Take up my post again. Good boy. Sit trot. Let and come back to me. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, I want to be able to do that both ways. Push his hip into the arena both ways. I want to be able to come here, push his shoulders around. You see how I don't have to tighten that much on my hands. I can go to my outside foot, and his shoulder comes up and around. One of the big things out of your reins to test whether or not your horse is good on your feet is set them down. Can I set these reins down, keep that leg on, and have him stay up and around, or does he start to lean forward? You see how my circles get a little bit bigger? If your horse is not good at coming up and around, right here, you're going to find out real quick. Because you're going to put your hand down, and he's going to be running off that way when you go to your foot. I want to be able to come here without much help out of my hands, without much help out of my seat or anything. Just go to my foot, make sure he comes up and around. Got to be able to do that both ways. All right? So right here, he's trying to guess that corner, so I'm going to go to the outside. Big thing about these small arenas at home, right? So right here, sitting down, make sure that neck is down, go back around. I'm going to go to my left foot up here. That's my circle. Because if my horse doesn't come up and around right here, off my spur, then he's sure he's going to run away when I squeeze both legs and I'm going down the rail. Okay? So right here, I'm making him cross his legs over. The benefit that this has is it teaches him to hold the ground on this leg and swing around with this one. All right? So if we're trying to teach our Hunter horse how to really grab ground and lengthen his stride from a good place, right? I'm going to teach him to hold the ground over here and swing this one around. No different than an indirect turns, okay? So hold the ground here, swing that leg around. Hold the ground here, swing that leg around. Combine both of them going down the rail, you've got a horse that holds and swings both legs, all right? Really important, really important. So being able to trot your horse around, plant the ground swing, plant the ground swing, plant, swing, and come around. Very, very important. The last thing I want to touch on is the use of your hands when you're doing this. When you bump on a horse, I see a lot of people, I'm talking about picking your hands up in front, right? And letting that horse pull down into you. Now you see me bumping my hands, but you see him drop down when I do it. See that? So I can put a pretty heavy snap on him, but see him go down to my snap? Like the harder I bump him, it seems like the lower his head goes, right? The difference between your horses is one, this one has got the time to be able to drop his head down. We spent a little bit of time with him. The second piece of that is the way I'm bumping, okay? So if you can imagine swinging a baseball bat, all right? So baseball bat right here on your shoulder, baseball's coming right here in front of me. When you make contact with the ball, you're stopping your bat, okay? Versus you make contact with the ball and you keep driving all the way through, right? Does that make sense? So if I were to bump this horse to get him to drop his head, I'm gonna treat his mouth like that baseball bat to ball and stopping right there, connection, okay? So it would be like if the bit is his mouth, that's where the point of contact is. I'm gonna bump, but I'm gonna stop the second I feel his mouth. So see, bump, 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 and dropping his head down to do it. Bump, way down, okay? Versus if I was to bump and keep pulling all the way through, if there was a lot of follow through from the point of contact, I'm gonna pick his head up. And this is where people get in trouble, all right? So they go to bump on their horse, but they bump really hard. See how his head's not going down? He's not gonna go down if you're pulling him back up, all right? So that's something you might wanna check in your own riding at home, especially when you lope. That when you bump on him, you're not throwing his head out of the bridle when you bump on him. We want him to go down into that pressure, so you've got to give him room to do that by releasing. So really I'm bumping, but I'm trying to throw him back down, okay? So we call that here, we call it bump one down. So you're not bumping him up, you're bumping him down. So I want my feel to be like this. I want to put him down as much as possible, not pick him up as much as possible. So when I feel the point of that contact, I'm dropping him down. So I'm bumping down versus bumping up. You're picking that point of contact up, and you'll lift one out of the bridle really quick, especially if they want to come out of the bridle to begin with, which is where this one started, right? If you guys remember watching him trot around before, he used to be out of the bridle all the time, okay? He'd never sit down in our hands. So keep that in mind. When you're working on your trot, when you're working on your horse, we're gonna bump him down into that. Gotta be able to do that maneuver right there, okay? Combining that with your trot circles, get him to swing his legs around, really important, it'll help you out a ton. We're gonna cover more of this in the videos to come. Just wanna touch base on it, give you guys a foundation to ask some questions from. Hopefully the weather clears up enough we can get outside. Fingers crossed, we'd love to go live with you guys again. If not, until then, always send us messages in the discussion group, the Patreon page, send me an email, text message, whatever you wanna do. We'd love to answer your questions because it helps us determine what we're gonna do next. So I hope you guys have had a great year. We're gonna be back doing a lot more videos. If you haven't checked it out, check out Macy's store. We just launched LaRose. We're super excited about that. We've been busy with that lately, and that's been a lot of fun. So thank you so much for being here, guys. We'll see you in the next one. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Macy.
And this is LSX Live. It's good to have you back.
Bye.